This is our creek. It doesn't have a bridge over it intentionally. It looks nice and calm right now, but it tends to misbehave and flood. Being flooded in doesn't bother us at all. We have what we need to last for a day or two of not being able to get out. It does create a choke point going up the road here. This road leads to where I just was in a previous video, showing you the big corner and the line of sight where somebody would come into range from our very covert LPOP. This creek is so small, it's not even on any map. It doesn't have a name. It is a great source of water. It's never run dry, but it's also very shallow. And this is its narrowest point. It does open up wider due to flooding when you get to State Park Lake, a fishing lake. But a kayak could get down through here if you picked it up and carried it through some of the spots because of how closed in it is with trees that have grown over and things. A kayak couldn't, even though they can go in just a very small amount of water. A canoe, anything else couldn't get through it. But a kayak could. Somebody could be on the lake and go in the creek looking for some place to be safe or looking for some place to steal something from. So the creek is an asset in many ways, but it's also a part of our property that needs to be addressed for perimeter defense. We have mechanisms in place now that we can do to fence it off because of the livestock. We had layers of fencing and gates, all of which could be cut through and climbed over. What you're doing is trying to slow people down, deter them as much as possible, and buy time to respond. So we do have those in place now. We can do some low-tech traps and noisemaker things like the rat trap and the glow stick that I mentioned. You can also fill some targets with tannerite and have them placed in spots where you can shoot them from a distance to warn people off. Or when rules don't really apply anymore, if it's a dangerous, life-threatening situation, you could use something besides tannerite, I would assume. But anyway, the creek gives us a source of water, and it makes it very closed in, so this is the only way you can get on the property. You cannot drive a car across the creek, an ATV. You would have to definitely build a bridge. It's not something you just throw 2 wood planks over at any given spot to take an ATV across. And boat passage will be minimal. Like I said, kayak at best. And they would still have to get out and walk it. And, unless it's flooded, but nothing any wider than that is going to get through it because of the way that the trees are grown and it juts in and out. So we don't have to worry about an ATV coming across. Somebody's not going to be down here undetected long enough to build something to get across. It'll only be foot traffic. But traffic, of course, can be deadly. So this is an area that you would have to watch at the far end of our property when it's coming off the lake from the state park, or whatever it comes through, neighbors and towns and things coming this way. But you do the best that you can do with keeping your water source, which is necessary, by using fencing and gates and other deterrents, like targets, things, booby traps that you can make along through there that will help slow people down or make them decide that it's not worth it coming here.